All right, I'm gonna show you how I set up my work surface and my paints to start working on this color study. I'm gonna be using the smallest canvas because I think for a color study, it's not super important that I have a lot of space. So I think this little tiny canvas is gonna be a good fit. If you're interested in using a larger canvas, let me know and we'll kind of talk about if that'd be a good option or if you wanna save it for a different project. But I'm gonna use this 4x4 canvas from Blick Art Materials. Now I have my reference photo pulled up on my computer and I'm looking at it because I want to be able to color match. And the first color that I know I'm definitely going to need a lot of is I know I'm going to need some greens. So I want to mix a very warm tone green. So I'm looking at my blues. I'm going to select the lighter blue. This is my cool blue. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little bit of it in my paint palette. Just a little because it's very easy to make green. What I'm realizing is I didn't actually grab like a paper towel. Hold on, I'll be right back. Sorry, I don't actually use paper towels in my house, so I'm just going to be using this old dish rag. And when I'm mixing colors, I just put a little bit into my paint palette. So we're making a secondary color, green. So I know that I need to mix blue with yellow. So when you're mixing it together, whatever color is darker, in this case the blue, you only want to use like a tiny bit. I might even just have my blue like sit over here for right now. Yeah, I'm gonna put my yellow in this one next door. So I've got my blue and my yellow. Since I'm not wanting my paints to dry out, I'm gonna keep the lids on them. And now what I'm gonna do, I think I'm actually gonna use my little medium brush. I'm gonna take just the tiniest bit of blue and I'm gonna bring it into the yellow. And you can see it's already starting to shift to like a lime green. I'm going to get a piece of scrap paper and I can test out if these colors look nice together. I'm going to swatch them. Not dissimilar to the way you might see a YouTuber swatch makeup colors. So I've got this nice like forest green color. Do it kind of in order. Then I have a lighter green. I've got this blue. I'm swatching these to see if they look nice and like cohesive together as a group. So far I'm liking it because this is a very analogous color scheme. Colors that are side by side on the color wheel. If you guys remember that little bit of vocabulary. And then kind of my only standout color, like my one that's like different than the rest, is this purple. I think I'll put in my sky color first. And this is just an abstract painting, so I'm going to think about having it look very painterly, using my brush strokes. Maybe I'll do a loaded brush technique, so I'm going to dip it once in my light blue and once in my darker blue, and then I'm going to see the colors kind of blend together. Loaded brush, I've got 2 colors on there. And I'm just letting those colors mix. Kind of messing around a little bit with my darker colors that are more representational of my mountains. Since they're mountains, maybe actually I should use like vertical lines since they stand up so tall. And like, you might get to a stage where like you're thinking, this is the ugliest painting ever. And in that case, dude, just think about those abstract expressionists. Because to me, those paintings legit are kind of ugly. I've just been working with my flat brush, but I think I'm gonna switch to a round because I feel like these weeds are sort of delicate. So perhaps I would like to use a delicate paintbrush as well. I'm looking at my reference photo just for inspiration, but not to make it look anything like it, really. You know what I mean? Like, I'm looking at the colors for inspiration. I'm seeing like these crazy little seed pods that are on one of the weeds. So I'm liking the texture, so I'm just making like little dots. That mountain, just bringing it in a little bit more. Now Rothko, his were all very geometric. So his paintings, they were just all sort of rectangles of color. I want to have more movement in mine. And I'm just being loose with it. You know what I mean? I'm just letting the colors blend and mix. I'm going over areas where it was wet. We're just playing with the paint here. You're not going to mess up, I promise. Like, you can't go wrong on a color study because we're just trying to get the colors to do interesting things. We're trying to have a good time, folks. And you can see, like, this painting is changing as I go. Before, everything was sort of like, I had a lot of horizontals. Now I have many verticals. I'm liking the way that the colors are mixing together because it's wet on wet. So I'm going to just keep enjoying that process. And if it gets ugly, you know, the nice thing about paint is just paint over it. It's no big deal. I think why my colors are mixing so well is because they're analogous. So if I had chosen colors that were like very opposite of each other, then I might not be having as much success. But since these are all blues and greens, they are very likely to mix together in a way that is like visually pleasing. Dude, I'm vibing. Look how cool this looks. I'm gonna add in, I kind of want to add in a little bit of black, but that's scary because if you add in black, it can really overpower. So maybe I'm gonna resist that urge. I just thought it'd be cool to get kind of a dark shape, but I'm gonna resist. I'm just gonna throw in my darkest colors that I have, which are my blues, and I have like a forest green. How can you not feel joy when you're making a painting? Like, this is so fun, you guys. At first I was making this and I was like, oh no, this is kind of ugly. They are not gonna like it, but I'm using sort of a little bit of a light touch because if I press too hard, I think it's gonna look a little goofy. Okay. So I'm happy with the way that this looks. It almost looks like, what is it called when there's like those lights in the sky? Is it called the Northern Lights? I've never seen them in real life, but I've just seen videos. That's what this looks like to me, which is pretty neat. And if you think about the photo this is based on, it is not the Northern Lights, but I'm okay with how it's going. Ooh, it's kind of got a magical fairy tale quality to it now.